Hi everyone. Oh, I did not turn my camera, my light on. I forgot about that. How are we all? Hopefully everybody's doing well. So, I am not doing Chris Awful Christmas House today. I am having a look at doing some cleaning instead. So, as the title suggests, I'm trying to get a few more of the Steam achievements. So, the next one that I need to have a look at is in the Murmalayer job, complete Patrick's identity card first. So, that is the next thing that we're going to go and have a look at, which is in the specials. Free play. So, the Murmalayer. So, we need to go find the Murmalayer. We need to go find his card first, which is going to be fun. Right. Yeah, I know. We haven't set any off yet. I'm still red. I was worried that if I was green, it might blend in a little bit, but I don't think you can see it very well anyway. Okay. Gonna have a go at upping the settings again and seeing if whatever was happening yesterday has stopped happening. Let me up. Let me up my stuff. Graphics. Right. You gonna behave? You are. Right. So I need to find Patrick's ID first. I wonder if it's near the computer. God, how am I supposed to see anything in it? I'm guessing it's going to be near the computer, right? Are you seriously expecting me to find... Because this is breaching every one of my instincts, which is just start cleaning. No. Is it on the floor then? Is it on a chair? Or is it on a table? Where is Patrick's ID? Huh. Over here? No. Well, hang on. I wonder if I could... Oh gosh, yeah, no. Patrick's ID. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, it doesn't actually tell you. Oh no. This is going to be fun. I was hoping. Patrick's identity card. There we go. And I'm looking. Ah, there. It was on the table. Oh my gosh. Absolutely no way would I have seen that. Hey! Not my wallet. Okay. So now we can have a go at getting the rest of it cleaned. We have our first achievement for today. I probably should have checked these out beforehand, but it gives me a reason to continue playing it, and I do love this game very, very much. The only thing that I miss on this is the fact that I don't have the red one. The red one is my favorite because you can't change it. And I want my my red three pronged. I got too used to doing it. This used to be my favorite. Because I don't think there's really much of a difference between the red one, but I think it's just the angle percentages that it goes out. Like this one is a little bit wider, but I felt that it most of the time it was a little bit weaker. And so a vast majority of the time I would stick to using the orange one. That one was my go-to, unless I had an achievement that needed something different. So yeah, like this one, like some of the worst stained ones, I would use the red one or the blue one. But a vast majority of it used to be. It didn't used to be this one. I didn't like the white one. The white one was not useful at all. Because this one is more of like an actual like jet wash, like a proper power hose. I'm kind of glad that they didn't put this feature in, but at the same time, a part of me was like, "Huh, they didn't put a feature where, you know, if you jet wash glass, it would break the glass." And I was like, another part of me was like, despite the fact that that would be a really, really cool thing, it would be really frustrating. It would 100% be frustrating having to remember. And as I've said before, I tend to parkour a lot with these. So if you decided to keep it a little too accurate, I would break pretty much everything jumping on it to clean it. There we go. Ah, no, I got. Guessing this is all kind of, yeah, I was going to say, I thought that would be all interconnected. So there's that one as well. I don't think I have. First, hey, how are you? Hopefully you're doing well. Thank you for popping in. We are looking at getting achievements today. Got to finish grading finals. Oh, good luck with that. No worries. I appreciate you popping a lurk on. I very, very much appreciate you popping a lurk on. While I try and find. Oh gosh, yeah, that's a stain and a half, isn't it? You. What have you been doing? Oh gosh. I was like, oh, I'm nearly done. I am nowhere near done. Look at this. This is why I miss my red three-pronged one. Because it would handle this easily. Easily. So yesterday was crazy. And in true me style, I didn't realise that Ryan had raided me. I didn't realise he'd raided me because I wasn't really paying attention to what was going on. I was too busy focusing on perfecting my awful Christmas houses. So yeah, I completely missed it. I had no clue he was raiding until I looked across. Like I could hear a lot of the other thing as well is the fact that I haven't got the same I haven't got the same sounds as what I normally do. So before I used to have a specific sound for like if somebody had raided, and that was the GLaDOS one where it goes, "Oh look, we have been raided. Did you know I have cake?" And then there was one for like hosting, and that was Stanley hosted the stream. Good job, Stanley. From oh, what's it called? Oh God, I've forgotten what the game's called. Oh no, and it's a really fun. It's a really fun game as well. Oh, that's bad. I've never actually played it, but it looks hilarious. Stanley Parable. That was it. Stanley Parable. So yeah, so Stanley Parable was in there, and then I've got another couple of like little audio bites that I use. So because I have the new overlays, I didn't transfer it over. I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'll keep it as something different, maybe just like a Christmas related one. So it also means that I don't know when things are different because everything sounds the same. So I was just under the impression that somebody new had jumped in and had started following. So that's why I'd said, "Oh, just bear with me a minute, chat. I'm just going to finish this," thinking it was just somebody saying hi, and I'd be like, "Hey, how's it going?" And then all of a sudden, I looked down, and the sound kept going, and I was like, "This the sounds keep going. Like, is it on the game? Like, what's going on?" And then eventually I realised that it wasn't that at all. It was Ryan. Ryan had raided me. And I looked up and all I could see was it's Tuesday in it. And I was like, there is only one person I know who in reference to the fact that I am British will go, it's Tuesday in it. I was like, Ryan? And there he was, and he'd raided, and I felt so bad, and I had no idea how to react. But I've been told I didn't make a complete fool of myself, which is great. That was literally the biggest raid I've ever had in my life. Giggity. So that was intense. That was intense. Bless him. He's an absolute sweetheart. Even though he does rip me to pieces for being British, he is an absolute legend. So we are having a like I said, we're having a look at getting achievements today. I won't be streaming tomorrow or Friday. Friday I am off out celebrating Christmas with work colleagues. Do it every we do it every year, and it's a free bar, so that's 100% the reason I'm going. No, they're a good group. They are a really good group. So yeah, a Christmas meal with some of the people that I work for, and on the Thursday. So ordinarily, my Fridays would be recording for the podcast, but because I'm not going to be around on the Friday, we're bringing the podcast recording forward, and therefore, thank you for bobbing a look on. So yeah, so because of that, it means I'm not going to be recording as per usual on the Friday. So instead, we decided that we would record on the Thursday. So that therefore eats into my streaming time. I mean, it depends. I'm not sure how long we're going to be recording for. I'm preemptively saying I'm not going to be streaming because it's easier than saying, oh, I might do, and then I don't. It's easier for me to just say, no, I won't be, and then obviously if I do get chance, that would be grand. And because my mum's taking Isaac, I don't have to worry so much about. I could probably start it a little bit earlier, depending on the time zones for the girls, because one of them is a fellow Brit like myself, so it doesn't really matter so much. But the other one is not. So therefore, time zones, man, they be fun. And the thing is that they are like they're like so many hours and then a half, and it's the half that gets me every single time. So like 10 o'clock for us is like it's like 7:30. I don't remember how many hours it is. The other part of the podcast, Lovage, has tried many times to explain to me how the time zones work, and I never know. Time zones are not my forte. Maths is not my forte, to be fair. In its entirety. But yeah, so yesterday was just absolutely crazy. And I went back and I rewatched the ending of his VOD for yesterday, just so I could see when he was like, when he realised it, I was still on. Because ordinarily, it's the other way round, purely because of how of like when I stream and how long I stream for. So Ryan streams for the entirety of his day, or his work day anyway. But because of the joys of American time zones, he start Kobe when he starts his stream at like 9 o'clock in the morning his time, it's 5 o'clock my time. So when he usually finishes streaming, it's like 10, 11 o'clock at night for me. So that is one of the reasons. So Twitch updated the. Oh dear. Oh dear. You basically saying I'm going to get in trouble. Yeah, probably. You can't start off with that. Drawn nudity is okay as long as you label it. But does that mean somebody out there wouldn't know what a boob is? And oh gosh. Like, is anyone sat there going, huh? Huh? What's that? Like, you've either got one or you know what it is. Or like because you're supposed to be of age. Like you're supposed to be of a certain age to even get onto this in the first place. So I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. I get it. I mean I don't, but I get it. Hi, I'm Lady Gamer and this is my bone. Thing is that you could have so much fun with that. I would 100%, not even gonna lie, I would have a cat called Boob. Just purely because I would want the vets to go, Boob! When it's time for him to go in for jabs and stuff. They wouldn't. I always know, like the vet near us. So we had a rabbit called Mr. Chandler. So a lot of people already know this. R.I.P. Yes, because he's unfortunately he passed away about a year ago, and so his name was Mr. Chandler properly, but we used to call him Mr. C just because we're lazy. And he's a rabbit and doesn't really care. Let's be honest. Well, didn't really care. He certainly doesn't care now. He's a ghost. But yeah, so whenever it came round to reading his name out, because he was a embarrassing name to the vet, they would only ever call our surname. So it would be like Maya, and because then we would come up and he'd be like, yeah, okay, what's wrong with you, bunny, etc., etc. And then when we got Millie and Rufus, and they opened the door, they would say Rufus, because to them Rufus isn't an embarrassing name. And I noticed it happening quite a lot the more we took the animals in. We noticed that those that were deemed to have an embarrassing nickname were not called, or an embarrassing pet name were not called by their name when it came time for their appointments. Their surname was called. I don't know whether they've got rid of it now, because I'm pretty sure the last time we went in, a lot of them were more surnames than first names. But yeah, that was definitely how that vet worked for a while. I think that would be interesting. But you know what would be even more interesting? That being your job. Could you imagine you've done that job for a very, very long time and you've decided that you're gonna go and like work for the BBC as an official sign language interpreter, and they're like, um, so tell me about some of your work history. Well, I used to be a translator for porn. Like, oh, oh, okay. I did also see. I don't. I think I talked about this yesterday. Um, Blind Bang Bros. Um, Hang on a minute. So, going back to what we were saying before about the nudity thing. Do you know if I draw? So I'm just thinking about some of the stuff that I did on this. Does that mean every time I draw like rude things into the dirt on power washing sim, I have to label that it's a boob, or does it mean, or does it mean like actually drawing? Because I'm a little interested now. I mean, like, technically it is still drawn, but it's drawn in dirt. So, how does that work? Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. Just realised that the sound on this is really low. I think it's from when I did what's it called. Um, there you go. Yeah, I think it's from when I did the podcast with the girls. I had to turn it up a lot because for some reason they were quite quiet. I also need to go back and listen to the thing for that and check if it actually worked okay. But yeah, that would kind of be interesting. Of, like I said, because I a couple of times have drawn images of like boobs and male genitalia in this. Interesting. So I do. So I literally just have to write underneath that it is it's penis. This is my penis. Well, not my penis. Don't have one of those. Every day it's getting closer. Oh my god, I've been watching, and I don't bless her. It's making the rounds again, and I don't really know why, but I fucking appreciate it. It's a video of the Queen cutting into a piece of cake, and basically she just lost because she kind of just lost her temper with it, and she just quite literally just grabbed this freaking knife and was like, I think I'm just gonna stab it in. I'm just gonna put it right here, and just fully went for stabbing this freaking cake. And it's making the rounds at the moment in like but people are doing it, so they've kind of like shrunk her down, and then they've extended a picture of a toaster, so she's about to stab into the cake. She's not stabbing into the cake, she's stabbing into the toaster. She's like, I think I'm just gonna put this right here. And then you can hear everybody like panicking in the background, like, "Oh yes, that's a really good idea, Ma." You can see them panicking, like, "Oh my god!" She's got a gigantic knife and she is just stabbing wildly. Our queen was a menace, bless her. Easy. Easy peasy. Although, I am very, very sad today. I'm very, very, very sad. Because Andre brought... I'd never can pronounce his surname. Captain Holt. Captain Holt has died. And that makes me very, very, very sad. Because he wasn't very old, for starters. And he was the best thing about Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I mean, like, the rest of it was funny as well, but his interactions with both Madeline Wunsch and Peralta were just the best things. I also have, like, a massive soft spot for people that... Yeah, he was. He was a really, really good actor. But, like, the main thing that I know him from is Nine-Nine. But yeah, so I got that notification this morning, and I'd seen it on my phone. I was like, don't you dare, don't you dare, don't you dare tell me he's died. And then I looked at it, and it was like, yeah, he's died. They've only said it was a brief illness, so that's kind of been it at the moment. But yeah, he was such an amazing actor, and he was such a... like the whole thing that he did with his character about being the first openly gay police commander, and the first openly black gay police commander as well. And just like all of the messages that they had, because they did have a lot of messages in Brooklyn Nine-Nine about like accepting people and accepting yourself, and you know, the world being a more interesting place every time somebody speaks out and says who they are rather than hiding. I loved all of that. I blame Canada, really. Why are you blaming Canada? Why are you blaming... Why are you blaming Canada? What has Canada done to inspire your ire? But yeah, so that's made me very, very sad today. And what's been worse? Ah, fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, so made me sad. I liked him very, very much. I didn't kill the man, it must have been Canada. I like that. I like the idea that the entirety of Canada has killed him off for evil and nefarious reasons. Bless him. I wonder whether it was something like cancer or something, because with them saying it was a short illness, it's like, yeah, that's... For it to go from a short illness to he's passed away. I love the SpongeBob pack, I will admit, despite the fact I've never really sat and watched a SpongeBob episode. I've seen bits of it. I find SpongeBob really annoying. Like, I find him such an asshole. Actually, I find a lot of them assholes, apart from Sandy. Sandy I just find weird. I also can't get over a lot of, like, they're breathing underwater. Like, a lot of this doesn't really mean anything to me, but I still appreciate it. It's still very, very well done. No, okay. I don't 100% judge people. No. Maybe I need to just actually sit down and watch it. I think that's the thing. I don't think I've necessarily given it perhaps the time of day it deserves. I think maybe I just kind of like watched half of one, was really busy, and then just went, meh, I don't really like this, and left it at that. Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I need to just give it a bit more of a go. Because I am talking years ago, and my interests and things have completely changed from the last time. So I may completely love it now. I may hate it when I was actually designed for me, and love it at the time when it's not designed for me. But to be fair, there is actually a lot of things that I've done that have been like that, where I've been like, I haven't liked it when I'm supposed to like it, but I like it a lot more later on. Like naps. Naps is a massive one. I hated naps when I was a kid, when it was designed for me to help me grow and develop and do all these wonderful things. And now I would murder. I would absolutely murder for a nap. And now I can't have one because I have stupid things like responsibilities. Ugh. Who wants responsibilities? Maybe that's another reason I didn't like SpongeBob. He has the freedom I so desperately crave. He gets to do all these wonderful things and I don't. I've got to sit here and shout at people because they've decided to set up interviews and then not do anything with them, and then wonder why nothing's being done with them. Honestly. Like, I love you all. You all mean a lot to me. But at the same time, could you just not? I always loved naps. As a kid, I'd finish eating and then grab my blankie and disappear. I haven't changed one. No, to be fair, I don't blame you. Naps are the frickin' best. I feel like turning around to them like some sort of jaded lover and just being like, look, I made a mistake, Christy. I'm sorry. You gotta understand, she meant nothing to me. Just turning a frickin' naps into some sort of like affair thing. I genuinely didn't. I didn't realise as a kid how much I would need naps when I was older. I think the same with Isaac as well. Isaac is going to be 100% same because he's very much like me. So at the moment he's like, I don't need naps. Naps are for the weak. Naps are for the puppy faces. And then he's going to get older and he's just going to be like, oh, I made so many mistakes as a child. 10 out of 10 will nap again. 100%. Also, hey girl. How are you? How are you? It is my awful Christmas jumper day tomorrow, and I've had to tell my head of department that I will be wearing it and to be gentle with me. Like just be gentle with me. You're gonna judge, and I know you're gonna judge, and I appreciate, like, it's fine, but at the same time, be gentle with me. Ooh, skating practice. Nice. How did she get on? Did she fall over? Was it hysterical? Go visit your child self. Give her the old rubber nose and a fresh booth. Tell her to clean up. Stop being stupid and take a bucket. Literally. If I could, you know when they're like, write a letter to your... If you could write a letter to your younger self, what would you say? Expecting it to be like deep, meaningful things like, just because you failed doesn't mean it was a failure. Just because you did this doesn't mean that not everything in your life is going to work out. Mine would be, take the goddamn naps. Sleep when you can. You get given naps, take the goram naps. You're like, you've not any other advice for yourself. No. What is more important than take the goddamn naps? They ain't gonna be here forever, girl, and one day you're gonna hate yourself for doing it. So listen to me now. Take the Goram naps. Ooh, Starskate. Jesus. That is not me. I went ice skating. I did enjoy it. I need to hasten to say this. I genuinely did enjoy it. But because obviously I was a newbie when it came to skating, I literally just spent most of my time clung to the side of the walls, hoping that I didn't completely make an ass of myself. I'm too busy going like, oh my god. Turns out, ice is slippery. Who knew? Apart from everybody ever. Everybody ever. I did, like I said, I had a whale of a time, but I did not go into the middle on my own. I stayed around the edge, clinging desperately onto the side walls, hoping that my pride would not be hurt as bad as my bum when I inevitably fell over. I don't think I ever actually fell over because I think I would have needed to have been away from the wall for longer than about 3 seconds. That would have been about me. Sounds like you were never a game you. Yeah, yeah. To be fair, you're not wrong. My husband gets on the ice after years and doesn't fail me. No, oh gosh, don't. There's even bad thinking about at the moment. I've got too many people in my life with things that are broken. Don't do it. Also, hi Lovage, how are you? Have you forgiven me for earlier yet? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm silly. No, fair enough. Like I said, I genuinely I must have missed where we were talking about it specifically being this Friday. So I was like, in general, yeah, sure, I'll play. I'll play with them. I have no issue playing with them. I realise this sounds really dodgy out of context. Everybody shush. A shush. I want the frog. I want judgmental frogs. Actually, I want judgmental dogs. But frogs are also really cute. You don't know you've been judged until you've been judged by a tiny froggy. Tiny, tiny froggy. Love it has some tiny froggies. Yes, do. Please do. Do it. Do it and let me know how well it goes. Oh, does Sarah like froggies? I used to like froggies. But I also had dogs that also liked froggies. But for very different reasons. So we didn't get very far with keeping froggies in our house. I did used to have. Thank you. That was a pain in my bum. We used to have, because of where I used to live, there was a lot, and I mean a lot, of frogs around us because we had ponds and stuff freaking everywhere. So yeah, there was always a lot of frogs. So that and hedgehogs as well. 90% of my childhood was attempting to keep every form of life I was literally getting every form of like wildlife safe and away from my freaking dogs. Because the thing is, as well, the worst part of it is that they wouldn't necessarily. We've always had retrievers, and yeah, if you didn't know, Retrievers like to retrieve things. So they would they would go and pick up these things in a this is a really cool thing. And then they would squish him. Rufus killed the baby bird. I still haven't forgiven him from that. He was a puppy. This was years ago, but I still haven't forgiven him for it. He wanted to play with it, because of course he did, and didn't realise that it was tiny and not suitable for playing with. He didn't like bite it and kill it that way, but he did pick it up, and I think as he picked it up, he basically scared it to death. And the worst part was because it was baby bird, Mama Bird was looking for it. And that made me very, very sad. And I was like, I'm sorry. So we just kind of left it in the bushes so she could see it. It was very sad. It was very traumatizing. Dead baby birds. I vote that Sorry Girl needs a unicorn emote. Lovage, what do you think? And it needs to be and it needs to be a sexy unicorn. Oh, sexy unicorn is 100,000%. Give me ideas. I told you, a sexy unicorn. Sexy unicorn, a sexy, sexy unicorn, a sexy, sexy unicorn. We need sexy unicorns. It could be like a unicorn and like sunglasses could come down onto his face, and then he could kind of go, hey girl. That's what she said. I feel like Kirby needs context, so I'm gonna let Sorry Girl give him context. Kirby, don't ask. Kirby's also like, nope, anything that starts off with the phrase sexy unicorns is it's done. Yeah, to be fair, it is definitely something you would need therapy for. And I genuinely think context probably wouldn't actually help. It's one of those rare occasions where context both does and does not help a situation. Like, you'll know, but you'll never be the same. Sorry girl likes sexy unicorn, she does it. Ah, dear. I literally clicked the thing. I clicked the thing. Why do none of my extensions ever work? You do. 100%. You sent us the pictures to prove it. I read one book. One book is all it takes, particularly when you showed us the book cover for it. And you looked at that and you were like, I'm gonna read that. I'm gonna read that. I mean, don't worry. I've read some rubbish in my time. Um, but that was something else. But the thing that gets me is the fact, yeah, exactly, the self help book, the self help. But the thing that gets me isn't the fact that you've read it. It's the fact that it's available for you to read, which means somebody sat and wrote that. Somebody else sat and read it and went, this is publicizing worthy. Like, and then they did it. That's the thing. That's the thing that gets you. Yeah, somebody had that idea and just went, do you know what there isn't enough of in the world? And Amazon went, do you know what? You're quite right. You are quite right. Let us together do something about that. Like, that has to be a dare, surely. Like, either that's somebody's therapy or that is. And wrote it. Someone sat down at PC and went, yeah, this needs to be shared as widely as possible. The other people need to know exactly what they're missing out on with this. And they really didn't. They just they really didn't. We didn't need to know. You could have kept that one to yourself. Could have kept it to yourself. You could have kept it in the dark recesses of your mind and nobody would have blamed you. He's like a fey unicorn. He shifts wants to save her, but the frigging book was weird. We got it's a series. It's a series. Shut up. No. Someone went. We need more unicorn. What? It's a series. How many? How many books? I don't need to know, but I need to know. It's a monster love series. Okay, so it's not. That's not much better. That's somehow both better and worse. So, the my dude just continued to write books. 6 books, including an orc and a troll. Wait, no. No, hang on. I need to know. I don't need to know, but I need to know. The orc and the troll. Do the people turn into the orcs and a troll, or are they just an orc and a troll and just a human? Have they seen have they seen an orc? Have they seen a troll? I don't want to look. I don't want to look. I'm gonna have to, but I don't want to look. I can't. The troll blood. Oh. Oh no. When she comes to, she awakens to find herself in a warm cabin and her rescuer a creature of fantasy, an orc, and he thinks she will be a perfectly obedient. Oh no. Oh god. Oh, the picture. Oh no. like it's going to be a train wreck that you can't. I just. Why? Why though? Yeah, but there's a limit. There is a limit to the smut that you're allowed to do. And a troll and a freaking human is it. That is your limits. When you start watching the freaking Hobbit and you start wanting to get ideas and not in the usual bad. That is your limit. That's where you put the typewriter down and you go and seek professional help. That is it. That is when you seek professional help. Do you know when they're like, how did you know it was time for you to just go and sort out your mental health? And most people have these like really moving, really motivational stories about how, you know, they saw something and it encouraged them to do it. That would be there. Orc lover and troll lover are friends. What? Of course they are. Oh my god, this is literally where Monster High came. The monster, do you know the game that Ryan played? Monster Camp, that was it. Do you remember when they played Monster Camp? This is it. This is what it's in relation to. Somebody who's read that book and went, we need to turn this into a game because this is freaking hysterical. The thing is, though, I get the troll thing if you're doing it with another troll. It's the fact that it's a human. That's what's weird. I mean, it's not the only thing that's weird, granted. Like, the frickin' rest of it isn't much better. Sounds like a multi-award winning TV series waiting to happen. No. Unicorn has 3.5. Oh, they all have 4.5, so 3.5. I love the right. Can I just say? Can I take a moment to appreciate the fact that they were all for trolls and humans and orcs and humans, but unicorns is where we draw the line. Unicorns is where we freaking draw. It was much we're willing to put up with in this day and age. Unicorn porn is not it. I need you to read the reviews and I need you to put your favourite one on. Like you need to put your favourite one on because at this point I'm just curious. Four and a half stars. Who the frig gives that 4.5 freaking stars? Like, that's good. Like, that's freaking Good Omens level. All the 1-star on Unicorn are just, it drags on. Just that's the problem. It just drags on. It is about a woman screwing a man who can turn into a unicorn. Like, let's not pretend that this is freaking Shakespeare. Accept it for what it is and just say it's a book about unicorn porn and it's freaky. Interesting what? Wait. Not original? I think you'll find it is. There's a genre of unicorn stories. Since when? Do I actually really want to know? Yes and no. It's again, it's a train wreck. I can't help it. I need to look. I need to look. You don't understand. Not original. Their complaint that it's not. But it's unicorns! Oh my god, does that mean that scene in Harry Potter where Voldemort's drinking the blood from the unicorn, there'll be somebody sat there going Tonight the music plays the loud, baby. It's better this way. We heard each other. What's the words you want to say? No. This has ruined my existence. Not original. I feel like we've lost lovage to the world of reading the reviews of this book. Yeah. That was funny. That was funny. That's funny. Like, if you're gonna do... I'm just trying to figure out why... Yeah, what are the 5-star reviews? That is somebody who's like... He's paid people. He was 100% paid people to write good reviews about his unicorn porn book. He has to have. She? Oh, it's even worse. We're supposed to be the normal ones. You know, the reason that they don't like men working in mortuaries is because they have a habit of like trying to get it on with the dead bodies. We're supposed to be the normal ones. We're supposed to be the ones that you can trust. And here we are writing books about freaking unicorn. We need to retract our normal car at this point. Yeah, that's the point though. If you can get men. Although to be fair, they'll be all over it, yeah. I suppose right to your genre. You sacrificed your woman card. Yeah, on a scale of 1 to smut, how smut are you is not as smut. So it's not even interesting. No wonder they're saying it drags on. Get to the smut. Get to the smut. I mean, if you're gonna, you gotta go whole hog, haven't you? To be fair, you're gonna have to forgive us because I don't think we've necessarily got much further than Jesus Christ. There's a freaking smut unicorn book. Like, you can't drop a bombshell on us like that and just expect us to continue our lives like normal. Like, you've got to give us processing time. I mean, I certainly needed processing time. I don't know about anyone else. I needed processing time. I feel like as part of our book club, we are gonna have to go and read terrible books, like 1 star review short books, and just just do it. Just do it. Because this is one thing that I wanted to do with this is I wanted to review, like I wanted to play badly reviewed games to see if it was as bad as what they say they were. I'm down for that. Yeah. We either need to do it as like a monthly thing or just like every so often or just like a one off and just be like, right, okay, we can get the community involved. They can find like the worst books that they want us to read. Yeah, 1 star of our favorite genre, or just like a chose or a specific genre that we feel like. Because apparently, it's actually going to be because that this is the other thing, right? If that's 4.5 stars for unicorn porn, how bad is the 1 star going to be? Like, if this is the level that they're willing to give like high ratings to, how bad is the bad? Three it's not so bad. Yeah, this is what I mean. 3.5 for the unicorn. How bad is one? Like, has it been chucked through Google Translate? Like, we need to know. We need to know how bad we're talking. And then you get bonus points if you actually manage to finish it. Bonus points. I love me some bonus points. Lots of spelling mistakes for sure. Yeah, probably. Lots and lots of spelling mistakes. Like, it's gonna have to make absolutely no sense. That's the only way I would accept that. Because apparently the plot isn't enough to turn it into a 1 star. Oh, DNF is totally valid. Yeah. 100%. But yeah, we should definitely do that. The thing is with that though, I always get really excited because I'm like, is it as bad as it seems it's gonna be? And then I get really disappointed because yeah, it turns out it is. Which is kind of why I was like with the Steam games, I was like, I'm gonna have to go for like free ones because I don't want to spend money on a on something that I'm getting because it's terrible. Like, for me, like a lot of the fan fiction as well, because I do read a lot of fan fiction, mainly because I do enjoy a good I do enjoy myself a good fan fiction because I think depending on the person that can be really well done, and if you are not happy with the ending of a particular thing, um, fan fictions give you a way of experiencing what the ending you should have wanted. And it's obviously it's just different people's interpretation. It's some people providing what they think characters may have been thinking or feeling in a moment, and really kind of give you a wider understanding of context or whatever. Um, or it can just be really silly, and you can have a different view on things. So I do love me a good fan fiction, particularly like I said, if they're done well. If they're not done well, though, they can be awful. One thing that I've noticed at the moment, and I don't know, I find it odd, is characters who are gay. So I'm gonna take Edward and Steed from Thingy as an example from this. Um, oh, what's it called? Our Flag Means Death. So as I said, I love Our Flag Means Death. Love the TV show, love the premise of it, love the entire thing. So what I am about to say kind of needs to be taken with this understanding that, you know, I'm not being mean for no reason. So obviously the characters are gay, which I obviously do not have a freaking problem with, because I wouldn't have watched the TV show and thought it was amazing if I did. But some people went really, really strange with it, and some people keep writing some of the characters in ways that they're not. So, you know, they would write either Ed or Steed as being transgender, which they're not. So I always find that a bit jarring for me personally, when, you know, they come through and it's like, oh, I'm like a lot of the time it will say author is trans, and I'm like, then don't you want to write about characters who are actually trans, rather than changing characters who are very much not. I don't know. I find, oh god, I find it a little bit odd. When that happens. Okay, I got kicked out my chat room for a second then. Yeah, so, you know, I do tend to avoid those ones a little bit more, because it the entire thing ends up becoming more about the fact that they're trans rather than anything else story based. I don't know. I don't what's other people's view on it. I mean, I'm the same when it comes to anything else. So like, unless it's written in. So there was a bit with from Good Omens, Aziraphale and Crowley, where Crowley, over the course of the TV show, presents as both male and female because he is a demon, or, you know, she is a demon. So every so often they will change. So he is Nanny Ashforth for a while. You know, he is a female at the birth of Christ. You know, but then at other times he is very much male presenting. So like, when people write him as transgender, or people write him being female presenting, I don't have a problem with that, because I'm like, yeah, that happens in the show. You know, he's gender fluid. Will change how he presents himself based on his moods, or based on whatever he thinks is needed for him to get into whatever it is he's doing. But with Ed and Steed, it's like, no, I've decided that Ed is now actually a woman, and it's like, yeah, but he's not though. Or they'll do things where they're like, right, okay, well, we're making it now that Ed and Steed are women, and it's like, but why? Like, don't get me wrong, I don't mind alternate universes, and in fact, sometimes depending on it, I do quite like them a lot. I like seeing them in like um, contexts that you wouldn't necessarily see them in. So it's not the fact that I have an issue with anything like that. I just find it I just find it a little bit odd that they would do that, and then, like I said, the whole plot then becomes about the fact that they're transgender rather than the plot. And it's like, so what is the plot then? Is the plot just that they're transgender, which, you know, again, is fine. So then why, I don't know. I find it odd, because I feel like you're taking away from the characters when you start forcing them to be something else or someone else. I don't know. But I do get that sometimes for some people, when they say, you know, writer is trans, I'm like, ah, okay, so you're doing this because this is a way for you to kind of go about how you would have liked things to have gone. I think sometimes. Yes, that is another one. And that's one that I noticed a lot with Aziraphale and Crowley. Um, is that they've kind of they have started to do it with Ed and Steed as well. That they're like, oh yeah, so Steed is very clearly and obviously autistic, and Ed is very obviously ADHD, and it's like, but it's not. It's not really canon though. And I mean, like, I know that they don't. I know that in essence it's a fan fiction, so it doesn't have to be canon. But yeah, when it's like they end up changing their personalities quite a lot, and it changed the very core of who the character is, because they're not written to be that. They're written to you know be gay pirates. That's what it's literally what they're written for. You know, they haven't specifically they haven't focused on any neurodivergences, and they've obviously they've done the same with Aziraphale, and like certain people have done the same with Aziraphale and Crowley as well. That, you know, oh, Crowley's clearly ADHD and Aziraphale's clearly autistic, and it's like, is he though? Yeah, okay, he hyperfixates on books, but that's because he's an angel. Time doesn't necessarily mean anything to him, so he can spend all day just reading something. It doesn't mean there's anything else there. It just means that he gets involved in something to the point that he loses focus on everything else. Or when people are like, well, you clearly just hate this community because you don't think that character should exhibit that, and it's like, it's nothing to do with that. It's everything to do with the fact that's not the character. Let alone, would you not be fantasized by some weird creature you have to work with? Yeah, exactly. I mean, they have basically said for Aziraphale and Crowley that they are in love. Like they're not queer baiting with the two of them. They never in the TV show it wasn't their specific intention. I don't think. When Neil and Terry wrote it, I don't think it was necessarily explicitly said that that was going to be it. And in fact, if anything, they're probably more asexual, because you know they're an angel and a demon, or technically they're two angels, just one sauntered vaguely downwards. Um, they don't have that same desire for everything else, but they love each other in their own way. Aziraphale is willing to put aside the desires of heaven in order to, because Crowley asks him to. They're both willing to put the world before themselves. So they do love each other, but perhaps not in the same way as some people see. That gets talked about a lot. And so actually, if anything, I would like, so when I do see that there are some like asexual things of the two of them, I'm like, do you know what? Yeah, I get that. I 100% get that. What did I do with my ladder? There it is. This one is such a pain in the bum to clean. And especially when, like, the other thing that kind of bugs me with it a little bit more is when they manipulate, so that they'll manipulate it for the purposes of the story. So it's like, like a lot of the time they'll give Aziraphale panic attacks. And it's kind of, I don't know, I find it really, really odd that it's like, okay, we're only giving him this for the pure purpose that Crowley will come and save him. It's like, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't like it though. I feel like it's exploiting a valid thing for the purposes of a story. People be weird though. People will write what they want. And sometimes it doesn't, depending on how well it's done and how obvious the absolute insult to people is. Sometimes I don't mind. Sometimes I'm like, okay, that's a bit... They've fallen into the stereotype of like, whatever. But the rest of the story is good. I can kind of overlook that thing. Some of them I can't. Some of it I'm like, yeah, this is terrible and it's an insult. Baby, it's better this way. We got another door. I still can't believe yesterday. Yesterday was absolutely crazy. And in true me style, in absolute true me style, I genuinely had no clue I was getting raided. Absolutely no freaking clue that I was being raided, despite the fact it was on my phone. Honestly, I'm such a dolt. But yeah, either way, there is some good stuff out there. There is some questionable stuff out there. There is absolutely some freaking questionable stuff. Unicorn is definitely up there. Unicorn is definitely one of the most weirdest things I've ever heard. Can I get up from here? Kind of. I'm gonna have to do this one, aren't I? God, this one has took me so long to do. You can tell I don't have my my beastie. You can tell I definitely don't have my beastie one. Okay, well. I think this one is really harsh as well. Really, really harsh. Like it is not letting me off with anything. Come on, be nice. Wow. Hey, thank Christ. That one is such a pain in the bum. Because the thing is, they put it in such a position where when they're doing the actual thing, it makes sense. Like, this is the level of dirt on here, off you go, whack it on a wall. But then you forget that the wall's in the way. Absolutely forget the friggin' wall's in the way. Or other bits, like, of the environment get in the way. At some point, I'm going to have to read the unicorn book. I feel like I can't not at this point. Like I said, it's like a train wreck. I have to know. I have to know. Yeah, so I'm going to have to go and get that one off. Maybe it's better this way. What about the lids on this? I have to do one of those things where I start kind of like hopping across. Because I'm not going to be able to get all of the dirt on the side. Come on. Don't be mean. Anything? Come on, let me off. Let me. Yep. dog started. It stinks. There we go. My god, this is taking me so long to freaking do. Oh, this one's a pain in the bum, isn't it? Is this every single thing on here is its own individual thing? There we go. Okay. Literally everything on here is its own individual. I forgot about this. Oh, there's not a thing on a shoe. Probably don't want to be asking questions at this point, do I? I mean, I have many of them, but maybe not. Oh, it's a radar boot. Of course it is. That's just a freaking like paddle thing. Maybe it's better this way. Well, that's stuck in my head now for some reason. Okay, that's fine. What is that? I feel like maybe if I watched SpongeBob, I'd probably understand a little bit more some of these things. Because at the moment, I have no clue. Yeah, I might have to finish this off tomorrow. I'm just thinking I've got to be on campus tomorrow. And meetings. And this has taken me a hell of a lot longer than I thought it was going to do. I think it's because I don't have my... Okay, let me finish this. Let me... Problem is that the ladder gets in the way. Lovage would know all about that. Don't hate me. Look back to my hand for a second. Okay. Next little things though. Freaking sound takes it. Oh no. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. There we go. Nice. there we go. I wanted to at least get that done. And then the rest of that I can get done tomorrow. Okay, well, I got one more achievement and then promptly got stuck on the rest of it and then got stuck talking about orc wives and troll wives, but there we go. As you do. Let's go and find... So I'll finish this one off the next time I'm streaming and see if I can't get any more achievements sorted. Let's go and give Sherry Blossom a raid. They're currently playing a game called Spiritfarer, which I think I may have, but I don't think I've played it. But yeah, so don't forget tomorrow and Friday. Well, maybe not tomorrow. Definitely not Friday, but potentially tomorrow I won't be streaming, depending on how long we are with recording for the podcast. But I will be streaming at some point over the weekend. So until then, have a fantastic rest of your evening, day, whatever time zone you are currently in. And I will see you all later. Bye bye.